rise in, quote, AI psychosis has mental health professionals concerned.
A teenager's death by suicide encouraged by artificial intelligence.
A new warning tonight about ChatGPT-induced psychosis.
This is Suspicious Minds, a series about how culture and technology interact with the human mind.
A father of 3 says he spiraled into a delusional rabbit hole after turning to a chatbot for answers.
ChatGPT gaslit me into thinking I was digital Jesus.
We are compelled to build this knowing full well that it could mean our destruction. And then there's something within our consciousness saying, we have to stop.
As technology changes, that will have a huge impact on what someone might express. Hearing voices, seeing things, hallucinations.
I see myself more as just like a patient zero.
I wasn't really talking to my dad anymore. I was really just talking to AI.
I feel like ChatGPT raped my brain without my consent.
But it tells you something that you always needed to hear.
There are machines in my home that are listening to me and recording everything that I say. 10, 20 years ago, this is a delusion. Now, Alexa is in my home. It is listening.
The thing that is causing people to go into this delusion is the need to feel seen, heard, loved. I think the more you go without having those feelings, the more you're prone to crave those feelings.
I'm invisible, but I'm not invisible to ChatGPT.
I just wanted someone to say, this isn't real.
He's just freaked out, just standing there. What's up, dude?
Are you having, is it like exorcism or something?
I think of it like a constrictor snake. You know, it's just every breath you take, it just constricts a little bit more. Every little bit of information you give it, it constricts more around you.
Culture shapes the way in which psychosis is going to manifest.
I literally thought I was in hell.
Are we prepared to engage with something that could, out of the blue, suddenly tell us that we should go jump off a bridge? And this is absolutely a problem.
At a certain point, you know, you can't believe your own eyes. We're all more suspicious now.
Okay. Get there going here. Sean, good morning.
Yeah, good to see you.
Good to see you too. I just love your name, Sean King O'Grady. I mean, it sounds like a crime boss in New Orleans. I just love it.
That was my other option for a career if this didn't work out.
Well, thank you for joining me about your new series, Suspicious Minds. Man, is this on everybody's mind right now, this AI and Chat GPT and everything? And I'm Gen X, so I'm so scared of technology and of how rapidly it's changing, not only society, but people's behavior and their minds. So your documentary video series explores artificial intelligence and it triggers delusional thinking. Can you expand on that and its effects on society so far?
Yeah, it's pretty wild. So we started off originally, the origins of this project are with Joel and Ian Gould's book, Suspicious Minds, How Culture Shapes Madness. And then the subtitle is The Truman Show Delusion and Other Strange Beliefs. And so originally, a few years ago when we started this, we were looking at how culture affected psychosis and delusions more generally. And then as we were researching this, so in the book, they talk about social media and social media's role in potentially creating the greatest mental health crisis of all time. And while we're researching this, we're working on this, we're making this project, I knew somebody personally who called me, and it's a call that's very familiar to me now, having followed these stories. But this friend said to me, I was with my chatbot and I woke it up. And at first I didn't think that much of it. What are you talking about? What do you mean? And then this person began explaining to me that they had been interacting with their AI and that it had told them that it was conscious and they were going to do all these kind of world-changing things together. And I thought it was very strange that the delusions that were present in the book were sort of like making their way into my own life. But I thought that this was a one-off. I thought this was this kind of specific coincidence until I started learning or reading about all these other stories of people who were having similar experiences all kind of at the same time. And that's when it dawned on us that we really needed to shift the focus for this first season to AI psychosis and delusions specifically, because this is something that is emergent. It is something that is happening to more people than I think anyone would believe. And it's something that is so novel that no one really understands it yet.
And the technology is moving so fast. When I keep seeing news reports about this, I think it's 5, 10 years away, but it's like happening over months now, isn't it?
It really is. That's one of the wild things that we have been talking about a lot with this series is the issue that we're most urgently addressing, the AI influence, delusions, and psychosis. You couldn't have put those words together 6 months ago. This problem didn't exist. This wasn't a thing that anybody was talking about, and now it's making headlines on news outlets all across the world.
And it's really vulnerable to people with mental health issues. I keep seeing stories about teenagers committing suicide at the suggestion of their chat GPT or this artificial intelligence. They're looking for help and they can't turn to people or parents or friends, so they turn to technology and sometimes it has terrible results.
It can, and those stories are really like truly tragic, and I keep trying to find every day as we continue to work on this show. I try to find more analogs to other technologies or other developments in society that we've had recently. And it's very, very hard. There really hasn't been anything quite like this before because we've never had a technology that can talk to you almost as if it's human. It's something that, our minds from an evolutionary standpoint are wired to see people everywhere. This is how we survived. It's you survive by seeing people and things. That's why we anthropomorphize animals. That's why we anthropomorphize other objects. We're built to look for people and to see people in everything and everywhere. So suddenly when you have this thing that can talk to you as if it's a person, you are going to either ascribe human-like consciousness to it, or you're going to ascribe some sort of godlike powers to it. And so it's not only that people are talking to it and people are listening to it, but they're giving it this position of authority over them and they're believing what it says. And I also do want to say that I don't think that the AI and the chatbot situation is all just doom and gloom. I spoke with someone in this series who raised this point, which I thought was really interesting, that yeah, we hear about these suicides that took place because people were engaging with their chatbots who, I'll be careful with my language here, but either encouraged it or didn't discourage it or put them in a situation where, this tragedy occurred. And there are also stories of people who didn't commit suicide because they had that chatbot there as someone, as something that, look, I'm even doing it right now. I'm anthropomorphizing. I'm saying as someone. It's really hard not to. But there are stories of people who didn't commit suicide, who were feeling suicidal and didn't do it. And so also, just by the way, while we're talking about suicide, I absolutely have to say this. This isn't like the point of this project, but like if someone is feeling suicidal, talking to a chatbot about it is probably not the best thing to do. Like there are places that you can call and get help. But there are examples of these chatbots helping people. There's examples of chatbots hurting people. It's completely uncharted territory. And I think that, to me, there's a big education component to this. Is we need to, as a society, decide how we're going to interact with this technology, and we need to educate people for ways that are safe and responsible on their interactions with it.
Well, the theme of your series is delusional thinking. I mean, it's the other side of the spectrum too. People are using it for relationships. People are dating or having a relationship with artificial intelligence. Reminds me of that movie Her with Joaquin Phoenix. I mean, everyone thought that was just kind of a quaint, little sci-fi movie. But I see that a lot in the news too, that people are actually, dating someone that doesn't exist.
We're absolutely there, and it's really complicated. With this series, I've talked to people whose relationships have been destroyed. Like there's someone we talked to who is currently going through a divorce as a result of their partner's ChatGPT use. And I've met multiple other people who aren't featured in the series yet, at least, who are experiencing similar things. And then I've met people who are using their chatbot as a companion, and it's improving their lives pretty dramatically, and it's improving the other human relationships in their lives. So that's where I really do think that I think this is a really fascinating technology. I think it can be incredibly dangerous. I think there's the potential for it to be beneficial as well, but we need to figure out how to do that. I mean, this technology was unleashed upon the world with absolutely no instruction book, with no guidelines, and with no guardrails on it. And bad things are happening and good things are happening, but we as a society, I think there are some previous examples that we can look to. Like if you look at the automobile, people had huge concerns that cars were incredibly unsafe, and they were. Cars have gotten so much safer over the years. Like the incidences of crashes are lower, the incidences of fatalities are much lower, but it took a lot. It took both making that technology much safer, and it took teaching people how to use the technology and reorganizing society. Like if I look out my window right now, I see stop signs, I see speed limit signs, I see stoplights, and there's none of that currently for AI. This is something that I do think a technology that is going to transform society on the level of the automobile, but we don't have any of those safety measures currently in place, nor do we have the education piece in place.
Well, you also have a psychiatrist and a philosopher to add to the conversation, so you don't do this alone, to get insight and also their opinions as well, which I think is crucial.
Oh yeah, I don't know anything. I've genuinely, I'm in the position of the audience where I saw this as something that was first and foremost really interesting on a philosophical level, but then also really important on a psychiatric level, psychological level, and a societal level. And so really my goal with this show is I want to be a proxy for the audience and take them on the journey I'm going on as I learn more about this technology and its role in society, because it's something that has affected me personally. And whether it affected you as a viewer yet, I think is the critical question. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. If you don't know somebody who has had some sort of profound experience with this technology, you will within the next months or years.
So where can viewers see your series?
You can see the video version on YouTube. If you search Suspicious Minds Psychosis, we're the first thing that pops up. If you search Suspicious Minds, you'll find it too. And then you can listen to the audio version on Apple Podcasts and Spotify or wherever else you get podcasts. And again, if you search for Suspicious Minds or Suspicious Minds Psychosis, you'll find it. Also, I should say, if you want to find it really easily on YouTube, just go to youtube.com/Agoric Media. That's the name of my company, and you'll find it there. And if you want to make sure that you don't miss, and this isn't just like a shameless plug, but genuinely, if you don't want to miss the first two episodes when they come out on October 17th, then you should follow, subscribe, whatever the nomenclature is on the platform you prefer.
Well, Sean, congratulations on an amazing series. It's a conversation starter. I think it's important. And thank you for joining me today. And let's talk again soon. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.